All right, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the next live advising session for our ISEP Direct programs. If you've tuned in before, you know me. I'm Anthony Ciero. I'm the student advisor for Asia and the Pacific. I popped up a note on my Facebook earlier today that doing the live a little early today. It's 12 o'clock. Normally the lives go on at 2. But I will be traveling to Missouri State University starting today for tomorrow's study abroad fair. So if you're an MSU student, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Swing by if you're an alum, if you're a prospective student, if you think you want to consider ISEP, or if you're even just curious about who we are. Swing by the study abroad fair tomorrow, and I'd love to talk to you. But for now, we're going to do this a little early. Sorry if you're not in today. I'll always answer questions on Facebook if you have them. Feel free to post them on my wall if you want them to be public, if you think other people want to know, or just message me directly if that's more what you're thinking about doing. So today, we're going to talk about our direct programs in New Zealand. We've got 4, and we're going to talk about all of them. So let me pull that presentation up. New Zealand, of course, being one of our most popular sites. It's a great place. Of course, because the primary language is English, the classes are mostly in English, which means that English-speaking students have a lot of options. And it's a very popular destination also, of course, because of the culture. It's very laid back, a lot of friendly people, a lot of beautiful nature, a really rich history, a mix of Maori and European culture gives you a chance to really explore the uniqueness that is New Zealand. It's got 2 islands, lots of beautiful nature in between the 2, and a lot of exploring to be done. So let's get into that, and I'll tell you a little more about our options in New Zealand. Give me a second just to make sure that it's showing up on the video, and I think we're all set. So let's take you through it. All right, so we've got first up Massey University. Yeah. There we go. So first we've got Massey University. Massey University is our first institution in New Zealand. Until recently, it was our only institution in New Zealand. So it's very well established. We know them really well. They are the only multi-campus university in New Zealand. They've got a university right in the center of the North Island in Palmerston North. They've got one in the suburbs of Auckland, and then they've got one in Wellington, New Zealand. So there's a lot of different feelings for it. It originally started as an agricultural university, and then sort of branched out from there. But right now, it is a very comprehensive university in terms of course offerings. There's a lot to take. There's a lot to do. There's a few unique programs like aviation, natural sciences, and veterinary medicine. That's comes from their roots as an agricultural institution, of course. So if you're interested in anything like biology or agriculture, this is a good place for you to do it. Why would you do Massey on Direct? Well, first I'll tell you this. They're an ISEP for all institution. That means that even if you're not studying at a member of an ISEP institution, you can study at Massey on Direct with us. So feel free to tell your friends, anyone you know who's interested in studying abroad but doesn't know how to go, we're an option for them, even if they don't go to an ISEP institution. Of course, New Zealand across the board, they are, along with Australia and Fiji, some of our most competitive sites, which means that if you study on Direct, you can bypass that and you don't have to worry about any sort of exchange space to go. They have Palmerston North on exchange, and but on Direct they have all 3 campuses, which means if you study on Direct, you've got basically 3 times the amount of options. Their summer courses, their summer programs are also Direct only, and we'll get to that later on. The scholarship eligibility also only applies to Direct students. We have a Massey scholarship and an Explore New Zealand scholarship for the summer students. So take a look at our scholarships page that's going up to the guides and tips section. And if you just search scholarships, you'll come up to the list of scholarships that we offer and that we know about, and we can point you in the direction of. Massey University will offer, at the moment we are offering awards of 1,000 New Zealand dollars. That could change depending on the year. So check in frequently so that you can kind of defray your costs of, so basically once you arrive on campus, if you qualify for that and you are awarded the scholarship, we'll send you 1,000 New Zealand dollars to kind of get situated and to have some extra money to explore books, that kind of thing, food, all that sort of stuff. They also have the Global Student Athlete Program, which is not direct unique, but it is a Massey only thing. The Global Student Athlete Program we'll also get into in a second, which is right now. So the Global Student Athlete Program you'll do along with your semester or full year program. Keep in mind that all of these sites are the Southern Hemisphere, which means that their calendars start in January and end in December. So think of that calendar year rather than the Northern Hemisphere's August to March kind of thing. You can always go through either semester. Just give us an email if you have any questions about what that entails. So the Global Student Athlete Program is something that Massey started because they understood that student athletes have trouble going on their programs because their coaches don't want them to miss a semester of training and fall behind. Basically, what they offer is all of that professional grade coaching, training, and equipment so that you can stay up with your fitness while you're studying at Massey. They've got 5 programs: strength and training program and elite sport services programs. That's for students from any sport. Rugby, equestrian, and cricket are obviously from students from that take those sports, that engage in those sports. So if you happen to come from an institution that has those sports and you're playing that on a full college grade level, then all of these programs are going to be great for you to kind of keep up with your athleticism while you're studying at Massey. In the summer, they have a really interesting program. It's called the National Expedition and Internship Program. So for half of your program, you take an expedition around New Zealand, and for the other half, you intern. So they set you up with internships in whatever city the final location of the program is located in, and you work for the other half of the program, basically. Now, each program is going to have kind of a different area where it settles and a different academic concentration. So we've got creative expression and digital media, communication and marketing, disaster risk and emergency management, and agricultural and environment. So to engage in those, you have to have a background in the subject. So you have to have at least 2 classes at the 200 level in a related major. So make sure that you're closely aligned there. It is a bit of a competitive site. It's not, it's usually with our direct programs, if you meet what's on the page, you go. This one, you definitely need to make sure that you qualify in terms of having that proper background and having a major that's close enough. If you ever have any doubts, let us know and we can check with them to make sure that your background aligns with it, because we don't want you to fall behind and you don't want you to feel like a fish out of water in a program that's really intense and concentration specific. It is an earlier the better program, so the deadline there is March 12th, but if you could turn in an application earlier, that will improve your chances of getting through. Oh, and also you have to have at least 1 year of successful university level study, which means that, as long as you entered your freshman year last fall, you did fall and spring, and you didn't fail too many classes or anything like that, then you should be fine on that qualification. So that's Massey in a nutshell. As you can see, they've got a lot to offer, a lot of different programs for a lot of different types of students. Next, we're going to do the University of Auckland. University of Auckland is one of the most well-known higher ed institutions in New Zealand. They're also a very comprehensive institution. They teach over 100 different subjects. They're in downtown Auckland. So, of course, like I said earlier with the other institutions, New Zealand is one of our most competitive regions. So by applying to direct, you bypass that by paying our program fee that's listed on the program page. The Again, it's comprehensive, so you're more likely than not to find anything that you need in terms of specialty classes, in terms of a number of different classes. If you're looking for something beyond the core, then this is a good site for you to look for if you're really looking into the nitty-gritty of your concentration. It is downtown apartment life, which is great, and a rich urban student environment. So you're going to be in Auckland, surrounded by students from Auckland, which is a great experience for students who are looking for that kind of experience. Next, we have NMIT. NMIT stands for Nelson Marlborough Institute of Technology. Nelson and Marlborough are on the South Island. It's our only program on the South Island, which is a great experience to have as well. It is a technical institute, which is a unique New Zealand classification of higher ed. So they're going to focus more on high quality technical qualifications. Even though you won't come home with those technical qualifications, you'll get a chance to engage in the training that's focused more on that practical skill and experience. And so even if you're in more of an academic field, this will give you a chance to put theory to practice, which is great because they offer a lot of specialty programs. So for example, they have viticulture, which is winemaking essentially, aquaculture, maritime studies, and adventure tourism. So there's a lot of really interesting niche programs that you won't find elsewhere. So if you're in those programs, or if you're trying to study those programs and you can't find those courses at your school, for example, if you're in an agricultural concentration and you're looking for viticulture or aquaculture, or if you're looking at maritime studies, but hey, you want to study aquaculture, this is a great place to really find some interesting ways to specialize what you're doing already. They have a lot of interesting experiences for you to get up close and personal with your food, or enjoying the fruits of your labor after winemaking. The rafting and mussel farming is also stuff that you can do. They've got a lot of local industry exposure and connections, so that's something that you can take advantage of as well. So that's a great practice-oriented site for you. And again, that's on the South Island, which means that you'll have a chance to explore a place that you wouldn't be able to do with our other institutions. The University of Waikato in Hamilton, New Zealand. Hamilton, New Zealand is a bit southeast, if I recall correctly, of Auckland. So it's going to give you a little more of a different focus. It's going to be a little out of the way of the bigger cities. But Hamilton is, of course, still a well-developed place. So that's going to give you a chance to really explore the northern part of the North Island and still have access to a decent city area that's not too far away. Student-focused and small size. So if you're looking for a more intimate academic experience, this is the place for that. They've got a buddy program and an orientation excursion right off the bat, which means that you get to integrate yourself into Waikato life pretty quickly. Hamilton, New Zealand is known for its botanical gardens, and then around Hamilton is known for its parklands and whatnot. Not too far from Hamilton is Hobbiton, which is the movie set for Lord of the Rings. So if you're into that sort of thing, that's a great place to explore too. The Waikato offers a lot of their concentration is on business, computer science, screen and media studies, linguistics, and Maori and Indigenous studies. Waikato, as the name might indicate, is a little more attached to Maori and Indigenous culture. So if you're looking to explore that, this is a good place for it. And again, like I said, its focus is shifted in a way that's not concentrated super north like Auckland, but it's not super far away either, which gives you a good chance to explore the area. And yeah, so those are our 4 sites in New Zealand. Tried to be a little quick with this one, just so you can kind of get in and out. Feel free to log on later on and take a look at this after the fact. I imagine not a lot of you are live, but let me take a look and see if I've caught anyone. All right, well, it looks like I've got one person on, but if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll share my contact info here for a minute or so. So some last notes is the deadlines. They're except for the University of Auckland is April 1st. Massey's summer, as I mentioned earlier, was August 12th, and the rest of them are all May 1st. Some of them are a little bit flexible, so if something happens and you can't manage to get your application in time, you do have plenty of time, so get it in as soon as you can. But if not, let us know, and we'll look into see what we can do. Definitely no guarantees after those deadlines. So get them in as early as you can, but don't hesitate to reach out if something happens. Like I said, so since I came on a little earlier today, I'm going to be on Facebook between the hours of 2 o'clock and 3. So try to catch me there on facebook.com/ISEPAnthony, and I can answer any questions you have. If not, of course, you're always welcome to email ciero@isep.org, and I can probably show my face again. I am a human being. There we go. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to log on between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So, try to shoot me a message if you need to, if you have any questions or anything like that. Again, you could always post on my wall if you have a public question or if you have anything to share. Of course, you're just as likely to teach me anything as I am to teach you. So I'm always up there and ready to interact. So it looks like there aren't any other questions from that one viewer there. And so I'll log off now. And so I will see you at MSU. If you happen to be an MSU student or alum or anything like that, definitely drop by. Otherwise, I'll tune in on the next ISEP live session. And see you until then.